I'm Tayla Mackinnon. I come from Joburg, Benoni. I've ridden since the age of 5, and my grandparents were always involved with horses, racing, breeding, and all of that stuff, and it always really got me very interested.
She used to go to the stables with me to have a look at this horse all the time. And I was probably deep down hoping that she would ride eventually.
But my family didn't exactly want me to be very involved with the sport, as it's really dangerous.
She was 3 years old and we were at the stables, and my mom said to her, "Do you want to ride horses?" And she said, "When I'm 5, I will." And that's exactly how it worked out. When she was 5, that's when she started riding.
When I first started riding, I don't really remember much, except for my mom standing on the sideline, like, "Come on, Taylor, you can do it." And then I would think, "You come and get on the horse and you try and do it," you know. And yeah, it was hard because I was so small and so young. So I started off being led around a circle for like a year, 2 years.
Her first teacher was a fantastic teacher, you know, for kids. She was great with kids. And gave them a hard time. You fall off that horse, you get straight back on. If she picked you up by your ears, screaming and kicking, you'd get back on that horse.
So the way I've survived with all my falls, because I've fallen off a lot, I'm not going to lie to you. And most of the falls, I've knocked most of my teeth out, but I was smaller, so it was still baby teeth, you know. So life was really good in Benoni. I was mainly riding, like 4 times a week I'd go horse riding. Just basically my life, I dedicated it all to riding, and my mom and my gran put a lot into my riding.
We used to have to make sure that tack was clean and that she had everything she needed for every discipline that she was participating in. And it was always my mom and I.
They were always there to support me. They were always there with food and drinks before the show had even started for me, you know. They really helped me a lot with that. There was a period in my life that I was doing really well at the eventing and the show jumping, and I was loving it. And then I had a kidney problem and I had to go for a huge operation. And it was not a joke, you know. I was in hospital, in ICU, and it took me months to get back to normal. I've got 5 cuts on my stomach. They had to take part of my kidney out, so like took forever to actually get back into it, you know. So it's not easy to have that operation and get back on a horse. I had to learn how to walk again and everything. So I basically took that whole year off.
And after that, she had meningitis. So she was off for a long time, lost interest in the eventing. I struggled to get her back.
I had to just get myself back to normal. I had lost so much weight. And then the following year, I started riding a little bit, but not as often as I did before that. So I rode a little bit, but I was so unfit from that operation that it just threw me back so much, you know, from how well I was doing. I was thrown back so much that it was impossible to catch up to where I should have been.
And then mentioned the jockey school to her because she was wasting away doing nothing. And she grabbed it.
When my family weren't very supportive of me being a jockey, and when my mom had offered me to come here, I was like, wow, are you offering me to come to the Jockey Academy? Okay. And then I told my gran, and my gran was like, what?
I had nothing to do with enrolling in the institution, nothing, absolutely nothing.
And then she kind of thought about it, and you know, it is a great career to have.
I just got told she's been accepted, and I thought, oh no. But yes, I was happy. I was very happy for her.
And she accepted it with all the injuries, because it's a dangerous sport. She accepted it.
Tayla was not one of those original applicants, and if my memory serves me right, we had 90 applications. We then shortlisted that down to 34 applicants that we interviewed. And then there were a couple of others that came once we had completed that interview process. And Tayla was one of those, where her mother contacted us and said, you know, she was really desperate to be a jockey.
And pleaded and said, just look at her. You won't be sorry. And he said, all right, bring on the 8th, we'll have a look. And if we like what we see, we'll take her.
And we had to do the same tests that we had the other applicants do. And yeah, Tayla did well in the academic test, she did well in the grit test, and she had some equestrian experience behind her. Dr. Blade Nzimande visited us during 2012, and it was the first time that he had come across the Jockey Academy, and he was very impressed with what we were doing. And following Dr. Blade Nzimande's visit, one of the concerns that I raised for running the academy was that we were constantly under financial pressure.
On the financial side of the sport, it's a very, very expensive sport.
A lot of our apprentices come from backgrounds where they don't have the financial wherewithal to attend an academy such as this. We identify the apprentices that deserve the assistance, and we recommend that through to the Cathsseta, and they've provided the finances.
I was very relieved for the bursary from Cathsseta because it's not cheap to put them through.
I think what made them choose me was the fact that I've ridden for so long. You know, I do have a lot of experience with horses. You can see someone that's been on a horse for a while, and that's just very comforting for someone that's gonna support you financially, you know, especially in this sport. So the academy, it's a 5-year apprenticeship. So I'm here for 5 years, but your first year is definitely your hardest, because that you have to show your hard work and your dedication and show that you're worth it, you know.
Tayla and I are dormitory buddies. We both applied for the academy. It
took a long time for us, all 3 of us, to get used to it. And now there's just Tennille and I left. The other girl decided to go home. It wasn't easy for her. She had never ridden a horse before, you know. So a lot of people that come here don't ride before they come here. So it is a big challenge, you know. From the start for Tayla, she's shown great potential. Her riding has come along well. The riding masters are very happy with where she is at this point in time in the riding program.
I was introduced to Tayla when I first got here. She'd been riding here for a couple of months already, and I believe that she'd come from an equestrian background, you know, you could see straight away that she's a talented rider.
She knows how to work with horses. She's been working with them for like 13 years already, and to see the connection that she has with them is really something special. It's amazing, and she is wonderful to have as a friend and a peer and a colleague.
Some of the horses that the guys struggle with, Tayla's able to relax them on the track and control them much easier. She has an affinity and a knack with horses, and yeah, I said it's early days, but we'd like to think that she'd be able to carry this through and build on that.
She's very calm on all her horses. If a horse is naughty, she knows how to calm that horse down. She's got perfect hands. She knows how to communicate with all the horses here in our stable. It's so hard for girls in the sport, as it is a male-dominated career. And males are physically stronger than the females. They really are. And this sport is scary. It's not easy. The injuries are crazy, you know. It's completely different to what a girl would be okay with, you know. Boys do cope with the injuries better and with the nature of the sport better.
You have to be on top of your game 100%. I mean, if the boys give 100%, you need to give like 250%. If they go to the main tracks and they shine, we have to glow, you know?
Being a female jockey is one of the toughest sports you can get into. This is one of the few sports where the girls compete on a level playing field with the men. They've given no advantage whatsoever. So you can imagine how tough it is for these ladies.
You need to discipline yourself. Like, self-discipline is so crucial. It's like the most important part.
One doesn't really understand how committed and disciplined one has to be as a jockey. There are lots of sacrifices that have to be made. When your mates are ready to go partying at night, you've got to go to bed because you're going to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. If you're not out there riding the horses for the trainers, you're not going to get the rides and the races.
I think there's only 2 professional female riders in this country at the moment. I'm not too sure, I think it's only 2 girls. And then there's only us 2 in the academy at the moment being apprentices.
She's going to show the world that women can do it. It's got nothing to do with strength. You know, you've just got to have the knack.
She wants to be the second woman to win a major race in South Africa, which is the Durban July, and that's her plans.
The return for Cathsseta would be that we would produce a female jockey that would be world-class standard.
I think Tayla has the possibility to take it a long way with her talent.
I would like to see her win a Durban July, J&B Met. That's all, just one of each. Show them what women can do.
Cathsseta had given me the scholarship, and I'm really, really grateful for them for giving me the financial support.
It's critical for Cathsseta to be part of our sporting code, because a lot of the apprentices that we take into the academy come from backgrounds where financially they aren't able to meet the financial commitment needed to keep the organization running and to pay for the training that they require. So we need that financial assistance, and if we didn't have that financial assistance, we would be in trouble.
I'd like to say to girls out there that honestly we need more girls in this country for this sport. It's not impossible to do, you just need to really work so hard and you will make the best career for yourself, because this is a great career to have. And it's an amazing sport to do, to get up every morning and to do what you do. You don't do that anywhere else in life, you know. You're not waking up in the morning hating your job, you're waking up in the morning loving your job, spending it with the horses. As horrible as some of the moments might be in the sport, it really is. Most of the moments are amazing.
The story we've just seen now of Tayla Mackinnon, who is the learner, very young learner at Hillcrest Jockey Academy, is an impressive one, because she's also not just good in academic learning, she's excelling. At the same time, she's one of the best horse rider in the country. And that's a kind of students and learners that we would like to fund going forward, because they have this passion that we are looking for in individuals.